Hello everyone and welcome back to Lotus Premier Education. My name is Amanda and I want to be your college tutor. Today we have a two-part video in store for you. In the first part, we're going to talk about how to do the UChicago supplemental essays. And in the second part, we're going to be talking about the essays for this year, which is 2023 to 2024. So, part one, the UChicago supplements. UChicago is infamous for having really interesting, really out-of-the-box supplements. I personally find them to be really fun, but some students have a hard time, which is totally understandable. So let's get into it and talk about how to write a stellar UChicago supplement. And I do want to say that up until this date, every single student Lotus Premier Education has had who applied to UChicago has been accepted. So we know one or two things about their supplements. So, UChicago has two supplemental essays that they ask students to complete. The first one is a Why UChicago supplement. Now, as we talked about in one of our other videos that discusses the why supplements, there are a few things you want to make sure that you do. One of them is you want to make sure you are always thinking about you and the school when you answer a why supplement. And so you can watch that other video. It's linked down below. It talks about brainstorming all of the things that would be a good match for you at the school. UChicago is no different. In this supplement, you really need to make sure that they can envision you on campus and that they know how you are going to make the most of your UChicago experience and why you will be an asset to their community. However, UChicago is a little bit different because they love quirky. UChicago loves students who think outside the box and who get really creative. And so this why essay should not be a typical why essay. You need to add some funk, some flair, and some passion for UChicago. The second essay is the one that students really fret over, and this is the creative question. So what UChicago does is they announce a new list of creative questions every single year. Then they also allow you to choose your own prompt if you prefer, and then they will also allow you to choose from one of the older prompts that they've used in previous years. One of the reasons why this is such an interesting component to the college application process is because you have so many really thought-provoking questions to choose from. It's even more than another Common App essay, and this is what gets students stressed. So our advice is this. Number one, don't stress. Number two, give yourself ample time. I cannot emphasize this enough. UChicago is not an application that you should be writing in 1 or 2 or even 3 weeks. And it's also not an application that you should be writing close to the deadline. So start this early and give yourself time to think. We also have another video about the importance of setting and creativity in the college process. I would recommend that you watch that before you work on this essay. We'll link that down below for you too. So when you're drafting the UChicago essays, you want to get weird, get quirky, think outside the box, and really push the parameters of what you're used to writing about. They want new and innovative ideas because you always want to remember to write your essays with the tone of the school in mind. UChicago is a creative place, and they really value thinkers. So in these essays, they want to see how you think about the world around you and what perspectives you're going to bring to their campus. There are other schools that value doers, movers, and shakers. UChicago, the word is thinkers. So make sure you're really pushing the boundaries of what you would usually say in these essays. Now, another tip when you get started on your UChicago supplemental essays is don't confine yourself to one essay first. Look at all the different topics and maybe pick 2 or 3 to start. That gives you a little bit more freedom to really think about some of your ideas and a little bit less pressure to really commit to one track. Then, when you see which essay is coming out stronger, you can really decide to dedicate yourself to that idea. So, for the UChicago supplements, remember the first one is going to be a Why UChicago. Get some passion in there, figure out specifics about why you want to go to the school, and make it a really memorable one. They read thousands of this same essay every single year. For the second supplement, get weird, get quirky, think outside the box, and maybe answer 1, 2, or 3 of the questions before committing to one. Now, the 2023 and 2024 essays were just released. So we're going to talk about a couple of specific tips to help you through this one. And I just wanted to give you an example of what one of the essays looks like. So this year, the first topic they released is this: exponents and square roots, pencils and erasers, beta decay and electron capture. Name two things that undo each other and explain why both are necessary. This question really stood out to me from the full list that they released this year because I found it so thought-provoking. And something that I would recommend as you approach all of the UChicago questions, not just this prompt, is really think about the things that get you specifically motivated and interested. So for example, in this list, they list pencils and erasers, but they also list beta decay and electron capture. I was an English major. I know very little about that, but I know a lot about literary devices that undo each other or literary characters that undo each other, and those things really make me crazy excited. So when you're answering these questions, think about being as elevated as you can be, as specific as you can be, and as passionate as you can be, and get to the topics that make you weird, quirky, excited, fun, creative, and all the wonderful things that UChicago wants to see in a student. So if this video was helpful, please like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment below if you have questions about the UChicago supplements or about any other school's supplements, and we'll see you back here on Lotus Premier Education for more college admissions advice. Thanks.